welcome to Simply Country Cuisine. So today I'm going to step out of the box a little bit. I'm not going to cook a meal, but I am going to make a pepperoncini relish. And this relish could be used on a nice, hefty, jumbo heritage hot dog or bratwurst from HEB. And I would suggest that maybe you would use a heftier roll, like maybe a hoagie roll or a sausage bun or something. Okay, upon reading this recipe, I read through the ingredients, and of course the star of our recipe is MEZZETTA's golden pepperoncini. And the next ingredient was a tamed jalapeno. I'm thinking, tamed jalapeno, what the world is that? I thought it was just a mild one. What do I know? There really are sliced, tamed jalapenos. So we're going to get started. Now, this recipe, after we make it, I'm going to show you how to jar it up. It can be processed in a cold water bath to seal them for canning, and it'll, you know, I will tell you though, I read further, it will make the peppers a little softer, which doesn't really matter if you're going to put it on top of a hot dog or something. This one will be a little bit more crunchier because we're going to store it in the refrigerator, and it can store up to 2 or 3 weeks. So we're going to start with a cup of the Greek pepperoncinis, and we're going to remove the stems. I'm going to run my knife through it a little bit because we're going to run this through the processor. There. And I'm just going to pull the stem off and pop them in my food processor. Give them a little cut in half. We want to leave the seeds in these. Now I have added the pepperoncinis into the food processor. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of these sliced, tamed, I don't know how brave I am just to try one, jalapenos. Add these in. Now I went ahead and pre-chopped these peppers coarsely so I could run them through the processor. I have a half, and right now the peppers are in season and they are huge. This orange one actually looked like a little mini pumpkin. So this is probably actually a 1/4. But I have a half a red pepper. These are sweet peppers, an orange and a yellow. And I'm going to add these into the food processor. 1/4 of a chopped white sweet Texas onion, and I've coarsely chopped that. I have half a green bell pepper, 4 garlic cloves just peeled and halved, so it'll chop it up better. All right, so now we're going to make some noise. And we're going to try to get it as finely chopped as we possibly can. Looks good. Woo! Yes, that's a lot of peppers. All right, now I am going to dump this mixture into a saucepan. Okay, now you see there's a little bit of liquid in this pan, but we're going to add some more. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the juice, the liquid out of the pepperoncinis. I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of fresh lemon. I want to roll it. I don't want to get any seeds in there. 1/4 of a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. I would imagine you're going to get a little bit more of the heat from this. I still don't know what kind of heat we're going to get from the tamed jalapenos. We're going to add 1/4 of a cup of freshly chopped parsley. I've used a curly parsley here. I'm putting in 2 teaspoons of extra virgin olive oil and 1/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt and 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. All right, now I am going to cook this over a medium heat for 3 to 5 minutes until the vegetables are slightly softened, and it won't take long. We have cooked this for 5 minutes, and as you can see, it has softened it up a little bit. But now what we're going to do is we're going to run it through the sieve. You could use cheesecloth. I'm not real coordinated, and I don't want to drop any of this into the juices and stuff like that, so I'm just going to run it through a sieve, and I am going to take a little bit at a time, because we're taking the liquid out now. You can store this in an airtight container for 2 to 3 weeks in the refrigerator, or we could put it in hot, these are not hot, but we could put them in hot, sterilized jars, seal them up, put them in a cold bath on the stove for canning, cook it for about 20 minutes, bring it to the boil, cook it for 20 minutes, then take them out, and when the seal, when you hear it pop, then you know it's sealed, and it can be stored on the shelf. This is going to go in the refrigerator. We're going to keep this in the refrigerator. So now that I've drained out the juice, I'm going to pack it in my jar. It smells delicious. And when I take a little sample bite of it, I'll tell you what it's going to taste good on. I know the hot dogs, the sausage hot dogs, it would be just absolutely tremendous on that. Now, if I were canning this, again, we're going to go back to canning it. If I were canning this, it would have to have some of the juice in it to can. And you would only fill it up to the bottom of the rim, which is about 1/4 of a weight up. Make sure you wipe the top off very, very good. Seal it. Probably even maybe put a pinch of salt on top of it before you seal it. And then cold pack it. Then I'm going to just close the lid. And that's a very pretty jar of relish. Now, to make it even cuter, if I were going to make several and want to give them away, I would get some cute twine, which I always have on hand. Cut me off a couple strands, tie it around the top of the jar, and there you go. You have a nice little gift to give someone. And this smells good. Now we're going to take a little sample here in a bit. Put a pretty label on it, maybe the label on the top, and say, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday. So let's give this a try. I'm actually going to take it out of here. It's pretty hot. Now, what we're going to do is let it sit on the counter here, cool, and then put it in the refrigerator. But I'm going to give it a sample here and see what it tastes like. Wow. I don't know how tame those jalapenos really are. Are my eyes watering? Wowzer, that's a little spicy. Adam Haugen, you'll like this on your steaks. Mark, Jeremiah, Justin, you'll love them on bratwurst and sausages. My eyes are sweating. It's spicy, but it's good. It's got a very good taste. It's not so, it's hot, but it's not so hot that you can't taste the flavors. You can taste the garlic. You can taste the green and red bell peppers in there. And please always remember to subscribe, like, and share our videos to be alerted for our next video. Wednesdays and on Thursdays we have a little trivia on Facebook. Join in, maybe you can win something. And always remember, if you don't have a place to worship, please always join us at Glad Tidings. It's one church, 5 locations, and we're almost toward the end of what some people would call summer, but we're living in Texas, so it may drag on till the end of October. Love you guys. Bye-bye.